So today our topic is Paramiko, right? So why Paramiko, where we use Paramiko, and why there is a need of Paramiko, that we'll see. I know that we all are using we all are using SSH in our offices, and we are not using telnet. We only few devices, like we can say older devices or switches, we have telnet configured, but for most of the case we have Paramiko. Guys, please be on mute. So Paramiko has some advantages as well, some disadvantages as well. So thing is, we'll see first advantages of Paramiko. Now, advantages of Paramiko is we can automate any device, right? We can automate any device, but things should be like SSH should be configured, because in the background, Paramiko uses SSH only, right? Second thing, that it has the advantage of, it doesn't actually, this Paramiko doesn't have limitations that okay, this only can automate this device or that device. No, it is free for all, you can say that, right? Now, for and foremost, there are disadvantages in Paramiko is we have to provide \n, right, in the command. That is the drawback, you can say. Third will be it has to give a time. We have to give a timeline. We have to give a timeline. So the it considering the drawback only, guys. Timeline means, let's say if you are running any command. So let's consider that show interface, show IP interface brief. So show IP interface brief will gonna give you the output within a second. If it is there, if you run the command into the putty or something else, if you take an access. But if you hit show run, it will gonna take at least 2 to 3 seconds, because then if you hit show run, then it will stuck at building configurations, and then within after 2-3 seconds it will give the output. So that command or that timing is not handled by Paramiko. When we check in telnetlib actually handles those timings, right, automatically. That in the telnetlib there is a feature that you can even stop, or you can even wait until the output will get stored into the output variable or read all variable. But here we have to specify the timing. So it has that this time has both the way. Either it could be it is good that no need to wait for that much time for that command, and it is beneficial just like for show run and all. We have to tell Paramiko that just wait for 5 seconds or 10 seconds after hitting show run. Now, why we use timeline over here? Why we are not using timeline in telnetlib? So Paramiko is much faster than telnetlib, right? Why it is faster? Because within a seconds, whatever command that you're writing, it will gonna send to the device. And this time is timeline that we will gonna give. It is just to tell that interpreter to wait until this particular time after hitting this command, right? So this is what the advantages and disadvantages of Paramiko. Now we will see somewhat theory and we will jump to the Paramiko.
Can you explain timeline again?
Will we see in the practicals in that time? No, like you'll get better idea about it.
Okay.
I'll explain the practicals. So Paramiko is a pure Python implementation of SSH version 2 protocol, and yeah, in the drawback there is one drawback as well, is it should work on only 2.7 and 3.4 and above version of Python. That you need to keep in mind, guys. So those who are using 2.6, 2.5, that Paramiko will not going to work for you. It provides the foundation of the high-level SSH library that is already been developed by Python developer, guys. So we need not need to worry about that, how it will gonna call that library, how will gonna give that, how it will gonna make the connection, SSH connection to the device. That is not our cup of tea. Our being a network developer, our work is we just need to give the configuration so we can automate our devices, right? That is what the Paramiko is. Now let's jump towards the practicals, and I'll explain line by line that how it works. So if we hit import Paramiko, now first thing is if we write telnet lib, right? If you like telnet lib is an inbuilt library. Telnet lib is a inbuilt library, but Paramiko is not an inbuilt library. We need to install Paramiko externally. We need to install Paramiko externally. So how to install it? Now we will see that. You can go to terminal here. Here just write pip install Paramiko. Right? If you hit this, hit enter. See, right now for me, it is already installed. So let me uninstall for you. Sorry. See, I want yes. That's fine. So Paramiko is uninstalled. See, I'll install this Paramiko now. See, Paramiko has been installed with me, right? So in this way, you can install Paramiko. And then after installing Paramiko, you can simply write import Paramiko. Import Paramiko, right? This is how you can use the library. Now we will move ahead and let me open our syllabus as well for Paramiko, so we'll get a better idea about it. Go to syllabus. Okay, so in module 2 Paramiko, we have almost 13 lab, right? So installing Paramiko we have completed. So extra, okay, enable SSH on device. So second is we have to enable the SSH, right? So let me go to the devices. Let me check that we have SSH enable or not. Full screen this mode. Let's automate this router. Okay, cool. So let me check that this router has SSH or not. Show run. Okay, I have configured the SSH, I believe. So let's so SSH, for those who don't know how to configure SSH, I'll show you for you. So for configuring SSH, go to configuration mode. Right, in the configuration mode, what you need to do, so if I need to create username and password, so guys, those who don't know, just have a look. Password, and I'll create a password as Cisco only. I don't want to give enable password for this, so what I'll do is username Dheeraj privilege 15, right? And what is remaining, we so need to give line VTI connection, so I need to give access to the food users, and then login local will be there. What is remaining, guys? Okay, so for getting the SSH access, we need to create the domain, right? And we need to create the crypto key as well. So as this is not a networking class, but let's see, I hope I have like I understood that you all have networking knowledge at least. If it is not, you can definitely search and let me know if there are any issues. So I'll simply create a domain name. So IP domain name.
Come up of the line.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Thanks, guys. Exit IP domain name. And what we will do is domain name si.com. It's working slow today. I don't know why. Then we'll generate a crypto key. Crypto key generate RSA. I'll write okay, I think it is already be there for same domain. I'll write S. I want to overwrite what 1024. So buffer size. Okay, it is doing head to right. That's it. So I have configured the SSH. So see, you can see the SSH is enabled now. Hit exit, right? That's it. Now let's go to our Python code, and here what I'll do is I'll start the connection for the SSH. So for starting the connection in Paramiko, guys, I'm creating one object variable named as SSH client, right? So in the SSH client, what I'm doing is so in the telnet lib, what we have performed to create the telnet connection, what was the variable name? TN, and then we have called that class at telnet lib.telnet. Same over here in Paramiko dot the name of the class is SSH client. The name of the class is SSH client, right? So in what this will do, this is the SSH connection of device, right? Now after hitting connection, if you wanted to take the connection from the putty and even experience anything like any pop-up message, anyone?
Yeah, key. Yes, do you want to save the
Yes,
key?
fingerprint issue, fingerprint, you just need to hit accept and all,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So for those, if you guys don't know, I'll show you here 192.168.1.90. Let me check that router IP address. Show IP interface brief. Okay, 90 only. So guys, for those, that message is like this. EVE, no, not EVE, Cisco, and port will be 22 for SSH, right? So if I hit quick connect, see this message, right? So this is like we need to accept the fingerprint, right? Fingerprint key and all, RSA key and all. So you have to hit OK after, then you will able to get the access of it. For taking care of this message, we need to give one command over here. So right, this is a predefined command. So how to do it? Now from here, every SSH connection has stored into a variable. Earlier in telnetlib, we have TN variable. We are using tn.write, tn.read all and all. So here we have SSH client. So here via SSH client, we'll do SSH client dot set missing host key policy. And inside that, here you just need to write Paramiko dot auto add policy. So what the meaning of this line is, it will just accept the fingerprint key, right? So the purpose of this line is just to hit accept or just to allow SSH connection, right? Until this line number 6. Any issues with anyone? Okay. Now simply for to that user get to know that what we are doing, I'm just writing one print statement connecting to 192.168.1.90, right? So after that, the main thing. Now what this will do, this will, okay, let me write for you. So here at this stage, what this will do, SSH minus L, right? Username is not there, password is not there, right? So now we will pass the parameters to this SSH, right? And this line will gonna take care of that S block, right? So we will pass the username and password from here now. SSH dot connect. There is a method in this class. There is a method in this class name as connect. So here we just need to provide the host name. Host name is what? 192.168.1.90. Guys, again, I'm telling you, we have completed the part of functions. So in the functions, do not play with this attributes, right? Because let me write it and then I'll ask the question to you. Which type of argument is this? Can anyone tell me?
Keyword.
Local.
Keyword.
Good. Keyword argument, right? So guys, if you know, like here, we cannot earlier in the functions, we do not deal with, or we cannot change this keyword argument, right? So here, let's say if add A comma B, right? Let's say pass. And here, while calling that add, I should write A only, sorry, A only, A equal to 1 and B equal to 2 only. I cannot write capital A equal to 1 because this variable should matches with this. So same over here. You cannot change these variables, right? These variables will be common for all. Now, this what this will do, it will pass the host name and password, username and password. So port is optional thing. If you want to give, you can. If you don't want to give, you cannot, right? Because Paramiko is only works on the SSH part only. So no need to give port. If you want to, you can. This is an optional part. Until this part, what we are doing, we are just giving the IP address and the username password to SSH client, right? So we are at this step now. SSH -L Dheeraj, right? And whatever the IP address, 192.168.1.90, right? Hit enter. Now here I'm giving password as well. Hit Cisco, right? Now I am at this point, whatever the SSH connection is active or not. So how to check that we have successfully entered into the device via SSH or not? There is one command in Paramiko to check that the connection is active or not. So for checking if the connection is active or not, we just need to call, we need to print SSH client dot get transport is active, is active. So what this will do, what this will give me a boolean result if the connection is active, right? So like it will give me true if I can able successfully connected to 1.90 via SSH, right? And in this, we need to close our SSH connection. So guys, always keep in mind to close this SSH connection. If you are see in this line, we are starting our SSH connection. Here we are closing it. So simply I'm writing a message for the user closing connection. And here how to close the connection? There is only one command named as SSH client dot close. That's it. That's it about your code, right? Now that's it about how you can enter or how you can call the device. You can give SSH credentials to it and you can go inside to that device. So let me run this and let's say we are getting output true or not. If it is true, it means we are successfully able to oh, this is scratch, no issues, continue anyway. Okay, say lab 1 best run. See, connecting to the this, we are getting true. It means I can successfully logged in to this particular device via SSH, and then I'm closing the connection. Now the time part I'll tell you in the next lab, because here there is no requirement of time because we are not sending any commands. Now any issues how to connect via SSH in this lab? Any issues with anyone?
Can we check the definition of function of the
This connect?
yes.
Okay. See, these are the arguments that I was telling. Port will be SSH port. If you're not giving, that is fine. So see, here everything is none, but here getting this SSH port, if you check on this SSH port, no, automatically it has been developed by 22. So username will be this, password will be this, blah, blah, blah. Everything, every argument. And then it should call, I believe, this logic. See, no need to worry about logic, but really, if you're really interested to check, yes, you can. This is the logic for connecting the SSH. only SSH. Okay, so code has been uploaded already over here. You can have a look. Right, this is lab number 1, but don't try to run it from here. If you run it, it will not work. So go to, let's check lab 2 of Paramiko. Okay, so lab number 2 says that how to use quarks. Now anyone knows what is quarks? Have we studied quarks or not? Have we studied this or not?
I think we have studied. Yeah, we have studied. When the number of argument that can be passed is unknown.
What keyword argument?
Keyword arguments, but if you are sending like this, it will give you the dictionary. If you're sending dictionary, it'll give you like this. Like let's say, if I'm sending just like host name is equal to 2, right? It will give me the result as this. Host name will be the key and 2 will be the value, right? If not, you can go to our theory section and you can check. Now in lab 1, right, so we have given the input like this, right? So now I don't want to give my input like this. What I'll do is, because it's why we are using quarks, it is very difficult to write one thing over here, right, and then pass to this and all. So we'll do simple thing now. Import Paramiko. Here what I'll do, the same thing, where SSH client, the same object, you can give any name. So I used to give the same name just to remember. Paramiko dot SSH client. So see guys, side by side, just revise your concept here only. So then what is the second step? First is this. Second step is what? Quickly. Okay. Go ahead.
Dot connect.
No. Before connect, what you need to do? You need to accept that. So
Key.
set missing host key policy Paramiko dot auto add policy. That's it. And then SSH dot connect. Then if we write this, let me copy paste this first for you. Let me copy paste this 2 lines for you. Right. So what we are doing, SSH dot connect, we have to give the host name, and also rather than giving this, what I'll do is I'll write router is equal to host name. I'll give as dictionary, yeah. And we all know if you are giving dictionary, it will convert into this format. So here is equal to, I'll give 192.168.1.90, right? Comma, port will be, sorry, it's a key. So port will be 22. Username will be what? Dheeraj. Password will be Cisco, right? That's it about our quarks. Now here what I'll do is, let me cut this part. Here I'll just paste this connecting to, write f string of here. How to get this key value, guys? Can anyone tell me?
Router dot value.
No, Ray, router dot in the square key. Right, I'll get value of this. Now here, what should I write? Can anyone tell me? See, I have given this thing over here, right? Tell me quarks now. What we were writing in the quarks?
Double star.
Good. Double star. Quarks. Quarks means double star what? What variable? Router. So
Okay.
what it will do is it will convert this host name is equal to this, port is equal to this, username is equal to this to uh, this dictionary to that format, whatever format that we use earlier, right? So let me paste that and I'll comment that. So it will be like, let me copy this from here. Let me paste it over here. Let me comment it. Okay. So until this part, we are good. Now it will do the same thing, just like this line. Again, I'll write print how to check the connection is active or not. ssh.client.get transport is active, right? It will give you the true or false result, right? And print closing connections and then ssh.client.close. That's it, right? So let's run the code now. There is a space required over here. See guys, we are getting true result. It means we are able to connect to that particular router via WAX, right? So let me paste the code. So it will be like lab 2 Paramiko. Yeah, any issues? Okay. Now let's jump on logic, somewhat logic, right? Let's say how to transfer the commands and all. So in the Paramiko, how to send the commands, right? So for sending commands, we need to invoke the shell. Now what is shell and how we can invoke it and why it is required. So this command, until this command will give output like this. Let's say this command will give output like r1 hash until this. So in Paramiko, if you need to send the command, to this mode or any mode, right? You need to send the command in Paramiko, you need to invoke the shell. Right? You can say that it will be the new tab. It will be the new tab, just like this. And here you can send your commands by invoking the shell. So let's say I'm invoking a shell and I have given the variable name of this shell is shell only, right? So whatever command that I'm gonna send, I'll use shell object. If I want to deal with SSH connection, I will use SSH client object, right? Again, I'm telling you, if you want to send any command, you need to use shell object, right? This is just to remember, any which way you can use any variable. And if you want to deal with SSH connection, you can use SSH client object, right? So we have just seen that here we are connecting the SSH connection, we are using SSH client. Now what we will do, we will invoke the shell for sending the command. So I'll use the same configuration. I'll create the lab number 3 over here, lab 3, and here I'll paste the same. I'll change some configuration in the same lab so you guys will get it. So after this, after connecting the SSH or after connecting to the device, what I'll do is I'll invoke the shell. How to invoke the shell? Simply, it's just write the shell object is equal to SSH client dot invoke shell. Because we know that SSH client, in the SSH client variable we have SSH connection, and we have to invoke the shell whatever an SSH connection that we have prepared for sending the command in Paramiko, right? So let's move ahead with commands now. Now what I'll do, I'm sending the commands to the remote device, right? So how to send the command? Can anyone tell me how to send the command in telnet lib? How to send the command in telnet lib? Yes, tn dot write, right? So same here, shell dot send, shell dot send. That's it. Shell dot send. One more thing. See here as well. So what is the drawback of telnet lib, guys?
Bytecode.
Yes, bytecode. Here as well, it will send the command in the bytecode only, but we need not need to write B in front of it. Getting my point? So Paramiko also send the command in the bytecode, but no need to write B in front of it. So whatever command that we're gonna send, I'll use the bytecode over here. Terminal length 0, right? And one limitation of Paramiko is we need to use
N.
what? \n. Now just write another, let's say, let's run show version \n and use show IP interface brief as well. Right? This is what the command is. Now, second part is just check the output. Right? So for output, I'll create output variable is equal to. Now, where will be the output stored, guys? In which variable? Like in the telnet lib, we used to write tn.readall, right? Here, what should I write? Shell, right? Here, everything will be in the shell because we are invoking that shell object. Now, here for getting that output in the telnet lib, we have variable name as readall. Here we have receive, RECV, RECV. And most of you, if you know Linux environment, so we need to give the line count, or we can say buffer count to it, right? How much lines you want to execute, right? So for that, we have to give buffer count. So the last buffer count in receive over here is 65535. The last buffer count. So until 655,355 lines, it will save the output, right? So you can use like 10,000, like, and it depends on you. So I usually, to reduce the error, I usually write 655,355 only, right? The last last buffer count. So this will give you the result. Now let's print it for you, and I'll show you one thing. Let's print the output, right? That's it, I believe. And for closing connection, now what we will do, we know how to close the connection. When we have to close the connection, when it is active, and we know we have a command to check it is active or not. So here I'll simply write if SSH dot client dot get transport get transport dot is active, then close the connection. Any issues in line number 27 to 29, or any of the code or any of the line? If you have any issues, let me know.
Can you explain the code once again?
Yes. Anyone else?
So print type of output will it will just give type, right?
Yes. That's what I just wanted to show you. One thing, that is the reason I written over there. Okay. So yeah. Sorry, Lakshmi, what was your question? I forgot.
Could you please repeat this?
Print, yeah, we'll print it, no issues.
No, repeat.
Okay, repeat, my bad. So here, this until this part, are you clear? Until 3 and 4 lines?
Yes.
Right, it will simply make the SSH connection and then hit accept. Now in line number 7, so what we used to do is, line number 7, we used to create a dictionary, and inside dictionary we have given the key and values. This is host name, port, username, and the password. So in line number 14, this is just a user defined message. So in line number 15, what we are doing is we are simply connecting to this router. It means it's the same thing that we use in the earlier program. That host name is equal to this, port is equal to this, because we are using star star, and we know Quarks works similar to that. If you are giving dictionary object, it will convert to the this format. If you are giving this, it will convert to the dictionary format, right? So hence we are using the same format. Right now, guys, you are saying that you could be you could think that why we are not using the same format. The advantage of this you will get to know in the further labs. It's very difficult to deal with this format, guys. You'll get it in the further labs. Now, as I told you that for sending commands in the Paramiko, you need to invoke the shell. What SSH client will do, it will simply give you the SSH connection access. But for sending the command, you need to invoke that shell, and inside that shell, you need to send the command. So line number 17 is doing the same, right? And then line number 20, 21, and 23, 22, we are just writing that command and sending that command to the shell object. Now in line number 24, shell dot receive, this is a buffer. So like this is buffer mean this is, you can say, lines, right? So I usually take a highest buffer. So it's the best practice to take highest buffer, right? So we are just receiving whatever output that will come from here. I'll just take into the output. And this thing we have completed, that if the SSH connection is active, then we are closing it. Getting my point?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's run the code, guys. See what I'm getting. What is the type of this output?
Bytecode.
Now, do we need bytecode?
No.
Then
we want exact value.
Then we want strings, right?
Strings, yeah.
How to convert byte into the strings? Those who practice, they knows very well.
STR.
No. Byte to strings. I'm not talking about integer to strings. Byte to strings.
Decode.
Yes, decode. So here what I'll do is I'll decode this output. I'll decode this output. So let's run now. It will be strings. See, right? So this is where we will gonna use the function. Now let's print the output.
One more thing, Dheeraj. This 655355, will it accommodate everything? Like if we are sending short text.
Yeah, it will accommodate. No, it is not like just a 655 lines. It will accommodate everything. So it's the best practice to use it.
Okay.
So hit print. Let's see we are getting output or not. See what I'm getting. I'm just getting show version, R1, and closing connection, right? But I have given the 3 command, terminal and 0 and all. So what is happening, guys? Let's comment this part, this command first, and let's see what is happening now. As I told you, Paramiko is very fast library. So in a one go, what this shell object will do, this shell object will, in a one go, it will send the command, right? In a one go, it will not wait. Getting my point? So for that, we have to use time over here, right? We need to tell, like, we have to stop the shell for at least for, it depends on the command that you are giving, guys. So here we know the show version output could be like we could get more than 10 to 15 lines, right? So for that we need to use time over here. In Paramiko, there is a restrictions in Paramiko, you have to deal with time, huh? So here you can use time dot slip, right? If you use time dot slip, so here automatically import time is already there. If you are using PyCharm, this will automatically import it, right? So here you just need to write, let's say I'm giving 1 second. So I'm saying that just wait after 1 second, right? Just wait for 1 second after sending the commands. So now let's run the code and let's see we are getting output or not. See, now I am getting the output. Earlier what was happening is we are sending every command in a one go, right? That is the work of Paramiko library, right? That is the thing that it is too fast. So right now we are saying that let's wait for 1 second at least, right? And see, you are getting the result now. Now let's set this as well. I believe it will also work for 1 second only. Right? So it is working. But what if I wanted to run show run? Use show run. Now let's run the code. Okay. See, I'm getting show version output. I'm getting show version output, but am I getting show run output? No. And we all know if it's show run, at least it depends on connection, by the way, like how much time or how much configuration that we have on this show run in the device. So see here, after hitting show run, no, I'm just waiting for 1 second. I'm terminating the connection. That is happening over here. So for that, you just need to increase your time, guys. You just need to increase your time. So for here, let's take 10 seconds. Let's take 10 seconds. So if you hit 10 seconds, let's run the code. So it will now wait for 10 seconds after hitting show run, right? So, and then it will give you the output of show run. So let's wait and see. Now you are getting the result. Getting my point? So it will throw everything in a one go. After show run, it will wait for 10 seconds and then it will give you the output, right? Now, any issues in this code? Anyone?
So there is the sleep time is after sending all the command, or like let's say after show version it should wait for 2 seconds or 10 seconds, and after show run it will 10 seconds. Is it
Very
like
good
that?
question. Very good question. See, what it will do, what it will happen is everything will gonna send in a one go, right? We'll see in the further labs. We have a like refactoring Paramiko. There you will see the difference that it is waiting for after every terminal, sorry, every command, or it is just waiting for only show run. Because we have studied that it is a line by Python is a line by line, right? So here, guys, what is going to happen? Okay, let's run the code and let's see that how much time it will gonna take. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. No, nothing result is coming. So at least we have to wait for 30 seconds. See, right? So what is meant by that? We need to wait after each command. We need to wait for 10 seconds, right? So we have a solution for it. But right now what we are doing is every command it will gonna send to the shell object in a one go. So here this command is in the main thread in the sense in the SSH client thread. So here after sending the command, it will wait for 10 seconds after each and every command will gonna send to the shell, right? And then it will give me the output. Now if we remove this command, no, let's see the time will be lesser. Side by side we can turn on the stopwatch. Okay, we will see in the refactoring module as well, but it should wait for 10 seconds. I think in show run we could try for 5 seconds as well. Let's see. Like no need to wait for 10 more seconds. But yes, this is a limitation of it. See, we are getting output in 5 seconds. Right? So in this way, we can refactor our module. Sorry, not refactor. You can use Paramiko as a module. Now, any issues in this code? Anyone? No? Shall I move ahead? Okay. Lab 3. Okay. Now let's move ahead with lab number 4. Okay. Lab number 4 is simple. It's like rather than this, we have to use get pass. How to use get pass? In password, simply write get pass
Dot
dot
get pass off.
get pass and then this. So automatically get pass is imported. You can see over here, right? And user, I'll take it from this us dot environment dot get, and here what is the name? I think db user,
User.
right? That's it. Let's run the code. I'll get the output in 5 seconds, I believe so. So this, in this way, we will get the output, terminal and 0 and this, right? Okay, I have copy. Let me copy paste. Where is this? Paste lab 4. Let's go to this. Let's create new Python file. Will be lab number 5. And now let's create the OSPF configuration, guys. Create the OSPF. I will not use this. I don't like get pass. I'll use get db pwd. Let's create OSPF now. How to create OSPF? And here, no, rather than router 1, use router 2 routers. Copy, paste. Right? See, guys, I'm doing the things. Let me know if you're not getting it. I think this is just a basic funda. This will be 91, this will be 90, this will be 91. And here what I'll do is I'll just use router is equal to router 1 comma router 2, right? And here what I'll do is I'll use for router, let's say here the routers will be, right? And here I'll use router, the new object in routers. And here I'll do this. Now any issues, this line should be inside if condition, sorry, for loop. Now any issues here, have a look, take your time and let me know. Any issues in this line? What we are doing, we are simply using 2 routers and we have created a list. Inside that inside the list we are giving router 1 and router 2, and one by one in the help of for loop we are taking the one by one loop, right? So here let's change the output. I want to configure the OSPF, right? So let's config t \n. That's it. Then let's write interface loopback as well. Let's create loopback interface as well. Tool D, IP address 1.1.1.1, 255.255.255.255. D 2.2.2.2. Right. Okay, this will be the OS, interface. Now, what is remaining? OSPF, right? So here I'll write interface rather than this. That's right, router, OSPF, right? Guys, no one is asking the question like here we are not giving any exit and all. Earlier we have seen in telnet lib, if you're not exiting properly, we are getting output. Can anyone tell me which command is taking care of that?
SSH client dot close.
Yes. So this command is taking care of that exit and end. We are closing SSH connection directly. So no need to write end or exit over here. Net dot 0.0.0.0 0.0.0.0 area will be 0. That's it. Sorry, process ID is remaining. Let's say 10 or 20, let it be. Okay, then end. I just need to hit end because I need to check the output as well. So here I'll write end new line, and here I'll check the output of. Oh, I hit F, I guess. Output of let's check show IP protocols. Right. I think terminal length 0 is needed. Terminal length 0. That's it. Okay, that's it. Our code is done. Now let's try to first. What is the key requirement? We need to check that we can able to ping that device, which we have connectivity or not. So quickly check ping 192.168 192.168 1.90. We can 91. We can, right? Let's automate. Run. Now connecting to the 90. Yeah, let it be. How much seconds we have given? 5 seconds, right? It's more actually. We can give 2 seconds for configuration. Like 5 seconds is for just to show result and all. See, IP, OSPF, IP show IP. We are getting the result of R1 and R2 both, I guess. See. Where is the result of R1? Why it is taking only for R2? Getting this? What is the issue? Anyone?
Closing the connection inside the for loop.
No. Yeah, inside the for loop, the issue is time over here. What happened is I'm using Google Cloud, right? So I have a lab in Google Cloud. So you can see while pinging 90. Oh, I guess I have lost the connection because I have OSPF route is there. I think it will replace my static route. That's the reason. Well, let it be. I should give gateway as something different. Let it be. That is the reason. I think I have lost the connection. Let me check for 91. I should have lost the connection for 91 as well. Yes, I have lost the connection for both guys. Need to configure it again, but let it be. See, you can see the result over here. I'll also show you that if you want to, let's go to our routers. Router 1. See, this is like if you configured on your EVNG lab, no, you'll not lose the access of the devices, because here, no, like dealing with Google Cloud it's too tricky for automation. Show, okay, not show run, my bad. Let's use section OSPF. Any questions? See, the OSPF has been configured. So here let's ping router number, let's ping router 90 and remove OSPF. I believe that both has duplicate interfaces. That could be the, that is also not, like you cannot configure two same interfaces, right? Two loopback interfaces. No interface loopback 1, no interface loopback 2, no router OSPF20. Do right? Right. Let me check my access is back or not. Can I ping 221? See, I have lost the access. That is the case, guys. It happens. That is not a big deal. It will not happen in your router, sorry, in our live scenario. Yeah, but any issues in this program code? See, this is the output. See, it is taking everything, and here you can see the result as well. Show IP route, distance is 4, and this is the networking and all. Right? Any issues in the code? Anyone?
Yeah, Dheeraj, just a minute. I want to look at the for loop for router
Here.
in routers. Okay, and it will execute everything. It will print output, and if SSH is active, then it will close. So that means for router in routers, first it will send in all the commands in router 1, and router 1 connection
Yes.
will get closed.
Yes.
And router 2. Okay, got it. Yeah.
So we have no, like we know, right? What for loop will do? For loop will take one element from the list. So once the line number 50 will get hits, then for loop will take router 2.
Yes, got
Okay.
it. Yeah, got it.
Okay, guys. So let's take a break for 5 minutes. Meanwhile, I'll up that all the connections that has been lost, and then we'll start, right? So let's take a break for 5 minutes. Well, let's come back over here at 6:15.
Dheeraj, I want to ask you one thing. In line number 26, okay.
In the coda, give me a second. I'll tell you. Yeah, in line number
26 to 42, you just select it and just put it. You just do it Control Alt I to move these lines forward, or just
indentation. Just hit tab, nothing else. Here, just select all. Now I hit Shift tab, right? So hit tab. It will indent for you for one space, for
okay.
one tab.
Okay, no shift required.
For going back, Shift tab. For going forward, tab.
Yes, for forward, no shift is required.
No. Okay. Anything else? Anyone? Okay. Let's move ahead. Today there is a long break, so I believe that you all are freshed up, and let's move towards our lab number 6. New file, lab number 6. Okay. So lab number 6 says that you need to take the configuration from file, right? So we all knows how to take the configuration from file. Simple. Go to this, hit new, hit file, hit ospf.txt. Oh, right now I'll not configure ospf. What I'll do is let's configure interface loopbacks, right? Interface loopback 1. Oh, give me the file name, guys. Loopback. Let's say loopback. It should be txt. Shift F6. No, it's not working. I guess loopback.txt. So we will write the configuration over here. So what configuration you want? Let's say terminal length 0. Right. And here, no, guys. Okay, let's configure the static route. I'm writing config t. And here I'm configuring the static route, guys. Here I'll write IP route 0.0. Whatever traffic that I have, it will gonna forward it to 0.0.0.0. It will gonna forward it to the gateway. I have a gateway of 192.168.1.1. So it will not, I'll not lose my access as well for my router. I think I have not.
So instead, I think use dummy route. Any.
Yeah. Like I don't want to deal
because
with that stuff.
default is dangerous.
Actually, I have the same route on the router, so that's the reason that I'm using.
Okay.
Okay, let's say dummy route. It is a good idea, I guess. Default is actually very dangerous. 192.1.2. Let's say network, right? 255. Oh, my bad. Which IP? Let's say, okay, let it be. No, it will take it, right?
No. Slash, it will not accept.
My bad.
Slash space 255.255.
Shall I write 0.0.0?
Or 255.255.255.0.
Yeah, let it be. Okay, let it be one, or let's say default. Whatever traffic that will come, it will. It's a dummy route, any which ways.
I think that one, it might not work. 192.168.1, it's same as the network. It should be like 192.168.10.0, then 255.255.0, and then 1.1. This should be 10 or something. Yeah, thank you.
Cool. Okay, so that's fine for our config part. And here let's start from the scratch, or I'll do some copy pasting, guys, like creating the connections and all, and you are familiar with this now, so I'll not waste my time and yours as well. So I'll simply copy paste it, and I believe that you know very well now. So here after this, right, after using this, what I'll do is same part for router in the routers, right? Again, I'll copy something. I'll copy until invoke shell, and then we will edit over that. Okay. Now, before doing this, we need to take one by one thing, right? We need to take one by one IP and one by one command as well. So for this scenario, I'm simply commenting this router, two routers. What I'll do for the first scenario, we'll take only one router, and then in the other part, we'll take two routers, right? So how to read the file? Anyone? Come on, with open. Yeah. What is the name of that file? Back, right? I guess back.txt.
File name.
Okay, back only. And then that's fine as let's say I'm writing as read, or let's say what is the OS, sorry, static, right? I'll write as static. This is a local variable, right? So you can use anything, static, that's it. And here I wanted to read that particular file, right? So I have read it. This is the one way you can use like this. Everything will be inside this now. Everything will be inside this. This is the one way, the width. If don't want to use it, the another way is simple, very simple, like O is equal to, or we can say like static is equal to open back.txt. That's it. And you can use static variable anywhere. No need to intend. Both are same. We have seen both of the part in the file handling part. Now here what I'll do is for line in static, I'll do like this. So what it will do is, guys, I think we have seen in telnet lib as well, it will take one by one line in line. Now here, what will be the command? IP is equal to, tell me what we used to do if you're taking one by one IP from the list, from the file. We used to strip. Those who knows, like who has attended telnet lib class, I've explained this in detail. What strip will do? Your voice is breaking, Lakshmi.
Remove the end blank space.
Yes, right. Remove the starting and ending blank spaces, and it will store into the IP variable. Now I'll print working for IP, right? So here, what I'm doing, I'm taking static. Do we have IP or do we have configuration, man?
It will remove
It will give a config, right?
Start and beginning.
Lakshmi, your voice is breaking a lot. So guys, this is wrong, right? Or is it right? Tell me. Anyone?
Yeah, this is wrong.
Right, because we are not taking IP. We don't want to need to
Correct,
take the IP. It's in back.txt we have configurations, right? So let's consider. I think we can take care that thing. Let's take care this thing in the advanced labs. We have advanced lab because see, right now I can take it, but the program will get more complex. So here, let's consider this. We have this, like take one by one command from the text file and send and take the output in the another file. But I don't want to complicate your mind now. So simply I'll just write 90 and 91 over here. But I think you can see here, I have a lab for this refactoring module. So here what we will do is we'll take three things from the user. It means we'll take three things from the text file: IP addresses, IP config, and we will store whatever result into the that txt file as well. And afterwards, if we are completing the Excel part, you can take the IP addresses and the configuration from Excel file as well. So we'll study that as well. So this is be like back.txt will be IP over here. So I'll write small IP. And now I'll write the same logic for line in IP. And here I'll write, let's say capital IP is equal to line dot strip. Here I'll print f string of working on, sorry, IP. That's it. Okay. Is this correct?
No, capital it should be.
Cool.
Mm.
It should be capital IP, guys. It's a local variable. Now I'll write switch, or let's say SSH client dot connect, and here I'll write, what should I write? Now tell me, what should I write? Tell me the thing, like now I told you everything. So I have an IP over there. Shall I need this thing? So what I'll do here is I'll change one thing. Let me copy this part from here. Let me cut this from here. I'll paste it over here. Paste it over here after this line. Right? So here what I'll do is, what should I write over here?
IP.
Right? I hope you guys are getting it now.
Yeah.
Star router. Let me know if you're not getting. Now what step is remaining, guys? Tell me. SSH client is done. Now,
SSH client dot close.
No. We need to send the commands. No.
Okay.
Shell.
Send.
Right? Shell is equal to SSH client dot invoke shell, because we need to send the commands. Then shell dot send. And here I'll write config t \n. I have configuration, right? We have configuration of loopbacks. So why should we? I'll use same configuration, but not OSPF this time. Let's create Let's create a dummy. No, need to check. Not OSPF. IP route 192.168.10.0 192, sorry, 255.255.255.0 192, whatever traffic will be there, it should forward it to 1.1. Okay, now that's it. What is remaining? End and IP protocols, right? Okay, let it be for that. Any which way we are getting the results, right? So yeah, will this work? Anyone? Any error in our code? Indentation is required, huh? So this is not required. Invoke shell is not required because we are doing it. This is also not required. Now, what is remaining? Tell me quickly.
Output.
Output. Before that, anything? No, before output. Think. See, after this, no, this particular programs you are not going to send to a user. We will refactor this Paramiko. So at that time, I'm gonna ask you step by step. What step is remaining now? Now output. Before output, there is one step. Tell me.
Decode.
Nah, Baba. This is in the output only. No, before output.
Okay. Right.
Don't miss time, guys. You'll not get output. Believe me, if you're not writing time. Here it will be 65535 and decode. Print output. That's it. And I'll print that output. And what is remaining? Connection need to close. If what is SSH? Sorry, SSH dot client dot if the get transport, I believe, is active. If it is active, then SSH dot client dot close. And if you want some message, you can simply write a message over here for the user that closing connections. That's it. Okay, what do you think? Will this work? In which mode we are opening that file, guys? In which mode we are opening back.txt?
Read mode.
Are you sure?
Default is read, right?
Config mode.
No, Baba. Here.
This one.
Default mode is read mode.
Good. So default mode is read mode, right? So if you're not writing any mode, it will automatically read the file. Okay. Okay. Side by side, let's go to our router, right? So where is router? Router is not turned on even. Okay, ping 90. Okay, meanwhile, I'll show you the code. Let me know. Is there any issues? Have a look line by line and let me know if there is any issues in any point. Oh yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, router keyword, I think. Where are we selecting IP, individual IP?
Sorry, where we are? What?
So the values, the host name is IP and the connecting to router. Server.
You're asking questions or?
Yeah. So the host name is IP, and we have to take the IP. So where are we taking that IP?
Line
for
number
calling the
16. Sorry, not 16, 14.
IP is equal to okay. That is
Okay, I'll tell you line by line. Don't confuse. So here, this thing will what this small IP will do. It has everything like 90 and 91, right? Here. Now for line in IP, in line number 1, what it will be 90, right? Now what I will do, strip that white spaces, this, every white spaces, whatever white spaces that we have. In IP, I'll get only 90. And then I can use that 90. Getting my point?
yes. Hostname colon IP, that we get the IP. That is a dictionary wherein calling keyboard argument.
Yes, and here we are using this, so it will be like hostname is equal to this, port is equal to this, username this, and password
Okay.
this.
Okay, fine, got it.
Okay, let me check. Okay. Okay, guys, so let me turn on terminal monitor. Run the lab. Working on this. That's it. It has been configured. IP route has been configured. And router 2 is also configured. Closing connections, closing connections. Please don't tell me that I have lost the connections. Cool, I have it. Right? So if we check, show, yeah, any issues? Show run.
Dheeraj, if we wanted to paste different IP ports, loopback IP.
So like one by one, like say, like it will be increment one by one, is it?
No. For loopback 1 in R1, 1.1.1.1 is there. In R2, I'm putting loopback 1 only, but IP address 3.3.3.3. How it would be?
Then you need to do the logic. For that, what you will do is you need to hit the logic of this part, right? So you need to check if it is R1, then you need to use the range function, right? So here you just need to use range. Like if it is first one, so I'll tell you. I'll just tell you the logic. I'll not create it for you, right? So I'll tell you the logic. Sorry, who has asked this question? Abhishek, right?
Me.
Yeah, Samir. So see, Samir, as per your requirement. So always, if someone asks you this, like I want to build this, so always try to get the parameters first. Now, what we need to do is for R1, we need to use loopback like 1.1.1. For R2, I need to use like 2.2.2, right? It means what thing is incrementing? This thing is incrementing. So for here, what I'll do, I'll use one count variable is equal to 0. Right, this count will count it is router 1, router 2, or router 3. So you can start count from count 1 as well. So router, if count is 1, it means it's router 1. If count is 2, it means it's router 2, right? It could be possible that the host name could be different. So for that, you can use count variable to take on. So you just need to check if, right, count equal to 1, right? And here you can run the for loop for count as well. Getting my point? So here, if you write that for C in count, so it will take the count in the list, whatever, or in you can say range, of how many devices you want to use. Let's say I want to use 2 devices, right? So it will be from 1 to 3. It means 2 devices, 1 and 2. So at the first case, I will be 1. If count is 1, then loopback will be 1.1.1.1. Then you need to configure. If it is 2, then loopback will be 2.2.2.2. If it is 3, then loopback will be 3.3.3.3. So you need to create this thing. So how to create? Simple, just create one variable name as loop, and here just create this. Whatever count it is, according to count, it will build this particular IP. How? I'll tell you. Simple, write f string of count. Okay, I'll write it for here for you. Where is our Colab? Where is our PyCharm as well? Okay, it's here, right? So let me copy paste this in Colab first. Okay. Now I'm clearing this out, guys. So here you can use like this. Count is equal to, or let's say IP loopback, right? So loopback LO is equal to f string of. You can build your case like this. Count, because in the count there will be 1, right? So count dot count. Getting my point or not? Samir.
Yeah.
So you have to create the IP like this. Count dot count dot count dot count. Right? Now if I'll write count is 1. Count is 1. And if I print, if I print alone, let's see what I'll get 1.1.1.1. Right? In this way, you can iterate your loopback interface. Getting my point? Understood
So
or
the
not?
count is nothing but a different IPs.
Variable. Different
Variables.
variables. Oh yeah. So it will okay. How guys, are you want this program? Shall we go ahead?
Yeah.
Let's try it now. So for first time, what I'm doing, listen to me, carefully. This variations could be asked in the interviews as well. So here what I'll do is count will be 1, or rather than this, what I'll do, I'll use for inside for nested for count
in range.
Yes, count in range of, I want how many IP it is, let's say 1, 2. I want to create 2 loopback interface, right? So it will be 3 if I want to create 2 loopback interface. So let's set, why I'm writing 1, because it will be first only, like 1.1.1.1. And here for each IP, that is fine. This is also fine. And here what I'll do is I'll create as loopback is equal to the same thing. Here I'll write count, capital count, control C dot control V dot control V dot control V, right? So at the first time inside the loop, it will be 1. And here simple I'll do. Now the tricky thing is need to send that, right? So let me check. Can we can't use f string, I guess. Let me check. Can we? Let's try this. I'm not sure. I didn't use f string inside this. What I use is like we can use like this. We can use loop B over here directly, but I'm not sure can we use f string or not. So at the first moment, let's try it. Here I'll simply passed count, capital C, right? And it will be f string. Yes, it is allowed. So cool. Let's remove this. So what it will do is, if it is whatever count it is, for each and every count, it will iterate your loop. So
it should be loop B, right? Instead of count, IP address loop B.
Yeah.
sorry, what?
Line number 27, IP address loop B, right? Instead of count.
Line number 27,
26 and 26.
IP address.
And then loop B, right? Count will just give 1, 2,
Oh,
3.
yeah. Thank you. Loop B. Yes, you're correct. So this is fine. So what it will do, first of all, first IP, let me check. Let me do the oral compilation. First of all, line will be hit first IP. Here there will be 1. Okay, it will work. Let's try. Config T. No loop back. Sorry, no interface loop back 1. No interface loop back 2. Commit. Oh, sorry, not commit. Brew run. Okay. Okay, let's try and let's see we are getting errors or not. There is something is happening, so it means we are getting errors over here. Let me check where. Let's hit breakpoint. You guys know breakpoint? Hit debug. So in IP in line I have this. Okay.
No, Dheeraj, you haven't shown that breakpoint.
Okay, no issues. So breakpoint is like if you want to debug line by line, no? If you hit breakpoint, this will be the end point of yours, right? So if you debug rather than run, if you debug, see this. This will create an object, and here it will be the wrapper. So it will take a what IPs, right? From the list, mode will be read. See R. And in the line it will be first IP count equal to 1, IP equal to this and this. So this will a breakpoint. Let me hit breakpoint over here. Let me remove this breakpoint. Let me hit debug again, stop and rerun. It means I'm not coming over here only. So let's try this. Debug again. Okay. So in loop B, I have 1.1.1.1. I have a doubt in this line only, like it should take or it is taking or not. What I'll do, let's remove this and let's try 1.1.1.1 manually, and then we got to know that this is correct or not. Only this line is facing issue or not. Oh, sorry, I have hit breakpoint. My bad. Okay. There is an issue in loops. Let's do one thing. Let me comment this part. Now run it. Let's see. What is the issue? Unable to connect. Okay. Are you able to access? Oh man. That is the issue, I guess. I have lost the connection. But how? But the code will be the same. That is for sure. You can test. I'll show this. I'll share this code with you guys. The code will be the same, whatever we are using. Let's try this code today. I'll share this code with you. And if there is a variations in the code, no, let me know in the tomorrow's section. So I'm pasting this code over here. Try this code, guys, on your local thing. I guess there is an issue in SSH connection. Can you just check this and let me know tomorrow? Right, Samir?
Yeah, sure. And
Right,
another
so
thing, I'm getting an error while importing the Paramiko. So what could be the reason on that part?
okay, I'll tell you. Here should be loop B. F string. Let's test, guys, that this F string has been allowed or this or not. If not, no, I'll tell you one thing. If not, no, just use like this. Like create one loopback variable, or here only you can create the same, like IP address this, and here just write subnet 255.255.255.0 and simply send the loop B over here. It will work. For sure it will work, right? So just try this and let me know, are you getting the result or not, right? Tomorrow we will see the practical of it. Yeah, let me stop the recording now. So let's meet tomorrow in the tomorrow section. Do not miss, guys. We have to use the refactoring module of Paramiko, right? So we'll do that, how we can refactor the module of Paramiko.